The Hulk has been a pretty amazing character in the Marvel Universe. As one of the strongest characters, we have compared him to so many other heroes and villains, but it seems like his time is coming to an end. Some time ago, the She-Hulk trailer was released and fans have been talking. In this video, we are going to talk about the latest news about the character and questions fans have been asking. Stay tuned. Firstly, why are fans unhappy with She-Hulk's physique? To be a great lawyer, Jennifer Walters, better known as She-Hulk, aspires to be as successful as her superhero alter ego. To save her own life, she needs a blood transfusion from her cousin, Dr. Bruce Banner, the Hulk, after the vicious crime lord she's pursuing shoots her dead. It is a curse that Jennifer's gamma-radiated blood gives her the ability to transform into She-Hulk. However, the CGI for She-Hulk has been the subject of much debate since the first trailer was released. She-Hulk's proportions are deemed too petite by many fans. People expected She-Hulk to be as large as Bruce Banner because of the Hulk's enormous size, but that does not appear to be the case in She-Hulk. Attorney at law, at least not from the trailer. Even though Jennifer has a Hulk-like figure, she is still smaller than fans expected. While we cannot expect that she would be as big as the Hulk, I think many fans believe that the producers went for beauty before strength with She-Hulk. There is already a lot of controversy concerning this, so I am not going to talk about my opinion on the matter. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, it's time we talk about questions that Marvel fans have been asking since the She-Hulk trailer was released. Is she an example of abomination? Jennifer Walters is an attorney, and the legal firm where she works, Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, has a division called Superhuman Law. In the teaser, it is shown that she has a meeting with Emil Blonsky, better known as Abomination to followers of the comics and the MCU. The question now is whether or not she acts as a stand-in for him throughout the series. The fact that Jennifer is representing Blonsky adds a fascinating new layer of complexity to her connection with her cousin, Bruce Banner. In the first Marvel Cinematic Universe Hulk movie, which came out in 2008, Banner faced out against Abomination. Why is she acting as his representative? What are the next steps if she prevails in this case? I can only imagine the suspense for Marvel fans, especially those that do not read the comics. With so much to live up to, I hope that She-Hulk doesn't disappoint us. Is there some kind of link between her and the Thunderbolts? The Abomination is one of the most interesting Hulk antagonists, but the trailer raises the issue of whether or not he could ever redeem himself and become a hero. Jennifer's portrayal of Blonsky, who was a member of the Thunderbolt squad in Marvel Comics universe, would pave the way for him to be the cast in the live-action adaptation of the character. The presence of several Thunderbolts comic book characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, such as Baron Zemo and John Walker, gives us the impression that this team might be getting together. They ran their operations out of the Cube for a while, and the new high-tech prison that can be seen in the teaser looks like it borrows some inspiration from the prison that appears in the comics. Jennifer is probably attempting to negotiate some form of work release for Blonsky, given the Thunderbolts used to be a team that was linked with the government in the past. Just so you know, the information we are providing you is just speculation, and none of these have been confirmed by the cast. However, it seems very accurate to me. If you think otherwise, share your comments in the comment section below. Will there be a sighting of the Contessa? When John Walker was last seen, he was standing next to the Contessa, and her mysterious figure may make her next appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the She-Hulk series. Additionally, the Contessa coerced Yelena Belova into attacking Hawkeye for the loss of her sister, Black Widow, by using her power over her. Although Contessa seems like an interesting character, I don't think we like seeing her anymore, especially after she meets with Yelena. Although it is currently unknown what Contessa's goals are, it does appear that she is putting together some kind of group. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, these characters generally exist on the margins between good and evil. Characters like Abomination fit right into that profile, which makes him a likely candidate to be her next choice. Whatever she plans to do with the team, I can bet that she doesn't fancy being a hero of some sort to save lives. Could it be the Frogman? There are a lot of questions raised about supervillains in the trailer, and one of them pertains to a guy that has connections to Spider-Man. A terrific deep cut into the obscure figure is provided by the trailer in the form of the introduction of a costumed character who appears to be Frogman. By the way, if you haven't watched the trailer, I suggest that you do so because we are going to be making a lot of references to it. Let's continue. The character known as Frogman has made his debut in Marvel Team Up number 121 and is without a doubt one of Spider-Man's peculiar comic book buddies. abilities. He fought crime but was very ineffective and often frustrated Spider-Man in the process. Is he considered a hero in the MCU canon? Does he require legal representation? Unfortunately, these are some of the questions that only the movie can answer. How does Jennifer get her powers? Although the comics have already explained this, the trailers give some kind of incentive for her powers. It made it quite clear that Jennifer gets her superhuman abilities from her cousin, but how this occurs is not explained. The trailer depicts a car wreck in the middle of the jungle, which may be a hint that Jennifer sustains injuries and needs Bruce to give her a blood transfusion. Once again, this is what I and many other fans have been thinking after watching the video. In Marvel Comics, an event similar to this one takes place. In her very first appearance, which took place in 1980 and was titled The Savage She-Hulk #1, Jennifer was shot, and as a result, she needed a blood transfusion from Bruce. She can switch between her regular self and the She-Hulk at will, as the teaser trailer reveals. Despite gaining his powers, she is still able to be herself, which is very amazing, unlike when Bruce Banner just acquired his power. Aside from the fact that Marvel is trying to incorporate more female superheroes in their movies, I think that these new Avengers are an upgrade of the previous ones. So, is the Hulk capable of changing? Another question that is raised by the teaser relates to the Hulk. In Avengers Endgame, Bruce Banner learned how to combine his two selves into a single entity. Nevertheless, in Shang-Chi, in The Legend of the Ten Rings, he only appears in human form. Even in the She-Hulk trailer, he retains his Hulk identity. The teaser seems to imply that Jennifer's shifting behavior is due in part to pressure from the outside world. Variations in Bruce's appearance throughout Phase 4 provide a glimpse at the kinds of alterations to the iconic character that might be brought about by the events of the forthcoming series. I must say that the past few Marvel movies have made me lose interest in the Hulk more and more. After getting seriously beaten up by Thanos, after which he refused to come out, Hulk has now almost become a second-rate superhero. We'd honestly prefer the uncontrollable raging Hulk that loved to smash than this new one. Now that I have gotten that out of my system, I hope that this She-Hulk movie improves on the Hulk's abilities. Both Hulks working together to fight a monster will be incredible to watch. Finally, what is that the Hulk is trying to teach her? The teaser includes several scenes showing Jennifer being instructed by the Hulk on how to make use of her abilities. The majority of explanations focus on him attempting to bring about her transformation into She-Hulk, but it is not clear why. Is there a compelling cause for her to assume the form of She-Hulk? In contrast to her cousin, the Incredible Hulk, She-Hulk can switch between her Hulk and human forms throughout the comics. However, her mental state is a factor in her strength, and the more terrified or enraged she is, the more strong she gets. Bruce may be trying to help her realize her full potential, like a master training his student. Of course, we know she is going to be very strong at the end, but it's great to watch the Hulk teaching. I think it's pretty impressive that we have been able to decipher this much from just a few minutes of the trailer. I hope the movie is worth all the hype. Well, we have come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more content.